dealers, the fine art, the antiques, Anna and Brian Houghton, of course. There's an immediate connection of wanting to come out and support the work that we do.
Putting on a show like this, it's like theatre. You have to present it in a new way each time, so the audience is going to accept it. And putting a show together is like theatre because you see it here, and then of course in the back, it's the backstage. I love the idea of glamour, and I think we're moving now into a completely new era. I mean, you see what's been shown around the fair here. The dealers have bought glamorous pieces. People are buying glamorous pieces. I think it's interesting how trends do go. The Chinese market now is incredibly strong, so Chinese objects are more expensive now than they've been for years. The same is applying for paintings. Things do change slightly over the years, but if it's quality, it always comes back. Always.
No, what we've got here is an extremely eccentric and very beautiful diamond tiara in the form of a pair of wings. And it looks crazier at this time than it did when it was made because there was no concept of flight when this was made in the 1890s in Paris. I think that there's nothing more glamorous than this, actually. I think head ornaments in jewellery really are the last word.
We're looking at a piece that is essentially Neolithic in style, in construct, in origin, but was produced by a culture that lasted up until about 1950. The prodigious effort of producing things like this mystify we who value time and consider time a commodity.
Chateaubriand has taken the genre of the equestrian portrait and mixed the hunt with the full-length portrait of the sitter, trying to enliven it because a regular portrait can be fairly staid and a bit dull.
Classic Tutti Frutti from the 1920s. Carmen Miranda was the inspiration for Henri Pique for Tutti Frutti. This depicts glamour personified.
That's a piece which was designed in 1940-45 by a team of designers called Dominique, but we found traces of it presented in Paris in 1948 at the Salon d'Automne, which was a yearly salon where French architects and designers were invited to present their latest creation.
It's a very fine necklace by Cartier Paris, consisting of a wonderful range of Ceylon sapphires, cabochon cut. Very, very fine piece and looks spectacular. The colours are quite extraordinary, I think, very bright and lively. Cartier is very, very sought after. I mean, particularly now his pieces are very, very desirable, and this is an exceptional piece from the 50s.
And this is a portrait of the great romantic writer Chateaubriand. The artist is David Danchet. Having an original plaster or terracotta that was made by an artist allows us to really step into the period. You know, you feel that you are a part of or observing the process by which sculpture is made.
This is a George I gilt pier glass attributed to James Moore and John Gumley. We date this 1725, and it's unique because it has the original devil plate and it's also retaining the original gilding. Also, to have a plate this size of this genre is unusually rare.
And this is Francois Premier, who was Henry VIII's opposite number in Europe. A Renaissance prince every inch. Here he wears his armour that by legend was designed by Leonardo da Vinci, one of his court artists. This truly exceptional piece, an example of neoclassical modelling at the Royal Manufactory of Sèvres, totally encapsulates the uniqueness and the glamour of the fair, the Fine Art and Antique Dealers Show.
The most exciting thing about this show is what it brought in 23 years ago was vetting for the fair. Now what vetting is actually is that every object is looked at by a committee made up of curators, collectors, dealers, and they look at to see that the object is what it is, so that the public can arrive at the fair and buy with confidence, knowing that the object is correct and right. It isn't caveat emptor that in fact, people can be happy with what they're buying.